Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Well, so we've had so many special occasions here in the 15 months that Ellen and I have been blessed to be a part of this family, this community. And they've all been fun, but this one I've been looking forward to so much since the idea came into inception of doing the right thing in our larger community of America by taking a few bucks per every round played from our guests that play here and a piece of all memberships to support a great organization that has done so much for all of our freedoms. Traveling from Edmond, Oklahoma, part of the Folds of Honor, I want to introduce everybody to an American hero. He's been a great friend of mine for over a decade. How about a really warm round of applause for a true American hero, retired Major Ed Polito, Folds of Honor.
Wow, check this out. What a great day to be an American! Yeah! Hey, so I'm gonna do something really cool. So I just actually did a big deal at the Texas Motor Speedway. I'm actually going off script, but just bear with me. I'm at the Texas Motor Speedway and I'm the Grand Marshal. And I'm gonna do something for you that was powerful because this is kind of what I've been doing lately. But Charlotte Harbor, start your engine! We're gonna have a great time tonight, yeah! Oh, I did that, I actually did that. The picture and all these fireworks behind me was a very powerful deal, but you know what? I gotta tell you, I live in the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America. I just want to share my story real quick because this amount of money is truly a blessing to our military families. And for me, it is very, very enlightening to know that the American people care. That you stepped up to the plate and took the oath and said, I want to honor the sacrifice, I want to educate the legacy, and I want to make sure that I take care of a military family. My story is called Challenge, Triumph, and Change. Challenge is sitting on a battlefield almost losing my life. Triumph is taking the first step after amputation, and change is living adaptively knowing that I changed forever. But the great thing about it is, let me tell you what change does for you. You see, as I tell you my story today, if I get emotional and I cry, I want to tell you something powerful. The reason that I cry these days is because when I got one of my blood transfusions, I ended up getting a little bit of female blood in me, so now I cry all the time. And it's true, old Yeller gets me too. I'm like, yeah. So anyways, just to start things off and put it in perspective, the emotion that we have for this great nation is powerful. Because you see, it was my father who once told me that when you take the oath of office to defend the greatest nation in the world, it was always about God, country, family, and all of those that serve in the armed forces of the United States of America to protect all of us in this great nation. And on August 17, 2004, that reflection or those words really come true. So I was driving through the city of Baku, Iraq, going to a new operating base. I hit an improvised explosive device or roadside bomb that would change my life forever. First fragment hit my knee, broken in 3 places, fragments to the left side of my body, I'm in trouble. But the great thing about the enlisted and the non-commissioned officer, the backbone of our military, and the reason we do this is that, you know what? They're never going to leave anyone behind on the field of battle, and we train for that specific situation. That is why we're the #1 military in the world. And that is powerful. Yeah. And that is the power of who we are. So combat medic pulls me out of the vehicle, puts me on the 128-degree pavement, and this is so cool. He says, man, Major, you're hurt bad. If you've ever taken CPR, don't ever tell the patient that, by the way. But He saved my life. He put a tourniquet on my leg, and he began to render aid, and he would put me on a helicopter. I arrived in Baghdad, 17 hours in surgery, blood transfusions, and I would be awarded the prestigious Purple Heart by General Petraeus, who was my commander on the ground. And guess what? You know what? At the end of the day, General Petraeus has been good to me and my family. He would take care of me. He would award this Purple Heart, and he said, you know what? Whatever you need on your transition, we'll take care of you. I'd arrive in Germany, and then Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas. Do this whole process of about 45 days of struggling with E. coli and Cetobacter, 2 staph infections, a chemical agent in my leg, go from 195 to 118 pounds. And on October 1st of 2004, after a series of about 17 surgeries to repair different things in my body, that you know what? The doctors came in and said, hey, we're going to have to take off the leg and possibly the arm. And as you can see, I have a big wound of the arm, and the infection was getting serious. And it was at that time where I will tell you that it was sad. It was sad for me. It was sad for my family. And my mom would be in my room and tell me something very powerful. She told me never quit. Don't quit. I was about 118 pounds, and I was just bones, and people have seen the videos. And but it was the American people, people like you in this room, who would come in my room and say, you know what? We're here for you. We're here for these families. Or the Vietnam veterans of America who would come in my room and say, the mistakes that were made on us won't be made on you, young man. Those were words of inspiration, motivation, and of knowing that I had sacrificed my leg for a grateful nation, for the individuals in this room, for Rich, you and your team to get up every day at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock and prepare the golf course for your patrons, for all of you embarking on something very powerful that Rich has connected you to increasing memberships here, to increasing the love that you have for each other, for creating a new company. That's what I sacrificed my leg for. But more importantly, I sacrificed it for the greatest nation in the world and for that flag, which I always will stand for. Because you see, I will never disrespect that. That is the beacon of light for who I am, what I'm all about. And to be funny, look at my shoes. And look what I'm wearing. You know what? Red, white, and blue is the beautiful colors of our nation. And so you didn't just show up tonight to do something very powerful. You showed up to honor the sacrifice and educate the legacy. And if you could just bear with me and let me tell you a little bit about who we are. At the Folds of Honor Foundation, we provide the spouses and children of the fallen, wounded, and disabled educational scholarships. We've awarded over 20,000 scholarships. We've raised about $115 million. And Jeff Babineau right there, and Miss Babineau are on our board. My good friends here have been with us, Bob, how long? From day one. Rich, you too. When we didn't have any money. When you believed in us. When you believed in an idea. And you made a difference. And now we're about $115 million of making sure that we take care of military families. That to me is powerful. So you're here for a reason. And so of course the Folds of Honor Foundation was started by Major Dan Rooney, an F-16 fighter pilot, PGA golf professional. That's why we're all here. The thing about that is he brought me on 11 years ago, and Major Dan was on a United Airlines flight going to Grand Rapids, Michigan. He would witness what no one ever wants to witness, and that is the remains of a young man coming back to his final resting place. And on that evening, he was called to action. Just like many of you in this room, I'm sure that you've been called to action. You've ran companies. You've done corporate events. You've done things powerfully for this nation. And the thing about it is that, you know what? When you're called to action, you do something about it. That's what Major Dan did. And that's how the Folds of Honor was born. And thank you for your time. Thank you for what you're doing for Folds of Honor. And it was General Peter Pace, the former Joint Chiefs, who told me something powerful at Brooke Army Medical Center that would motivate me, get me out of that bed, just like my mom. You know what? You could sit there and grieve, or you can get up and succeed. And guess what? Motivating words of courage and of support are what we need when we're down and out and we don't want to quit. And he would say, Major, always remember that on that day you didn't lose that leg. On that day you sacrificed your leg for your country and for everyone in this nation to be free. Continue to sacrifice your time, your energy, your resources in being the best we can be for the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America. God bless you. Hoorah!
Standing ovation. You got a few of those, haven't you? Well, as you know, this was a one-year program here, which we're doing every year. At the links, we started the same thing, so now they're synced up. So it's October 1 through September 30th, and we hope that check keeps growing. I really have to thank everybody in this room, because that check is a culmination of all of your support for us over the last year. And before I make the presentation official, I've known these gentlemen since 2007. In the PGA section I worked for, we were always one of the largest sections as far as helping them raise money through our golf clubs and our PGA members. I've attended many functions with my brothers and sisters at the Folds of Honor Foundation, Ed, Dan, Tony, and everybody else. And every single year at the merchandise show, which is kind of like the kickoff of the year, and hey, great year, I'd always have a conversation with Ed, Dan, or Tony about, hey, how did we do last year so I know where we stand and we can do better next year. And I always stopped them before they even gave me the number and said, it doesn't matter what the number is, it still ain't large enough. And I say that because of people like this gentleman here, Major Rooney, all the scholarship recipients I've met. It's the greatest cause I've ever had the fortune to be involved with. So it's our pleasure to assist, because your mission is holy, it's important, it's community, and Reagan's speech is great. Shining city on the hill, United States of America. So with that, on behalf of everybody in this room.
Bob and Babs, come on up here. I don't do this alone. That's what I was saying. And
Yeah,
where's the Sky
Ellen,
Golf
you get
people?
up here too.
Bring
Come on,
up
baby.
the Sky Golf people too. Come on up here.
On behalf of everybody in this room, after 1 year in the making, and Ed, this is just the beginning. Sky Golf is a partner for Folds of Honor, and that could be a real game changer. My two clubs will always support Folds of Honor. But on behalf of everybody in this room, my members and my guests, my staff and my wife and my family, it is my honor to hand you this check for $55 grand for Sky.
All right, here with Eddie. Major,
That's right.
We go way back.
We do, man.
I met Ed in September of 2007. It was maybe your second time you ever spoke for Folds of Honor. So to be with this guy right here, seeing what you've been through all the years, fantastic. So we need to say congratulations to Rich. This is the 20th anniversary of Bobcat Trail. So ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Congratulations, Rich. Yeah. Hey, Sky Golf. Hoorah.
I'm wicked excited for you.
Thank you, Rich. It's an honor to be here tonight and what you do for everybody. We love you.
Rich, I want to thank you for putting this Folds of Honor on with Major. I'm a former service member myself, served 4 years in the Navy, and I'm proud to be an American as you are, and this job you're doing here with this Folds of Honor program is just wonderful. Thank you again.
On behalf of everybody here, we'd like to thank Rich for what he's done with the Folds of Honor, especially veterans like myself that really appreciate what they do, and hoorah for all that Rich has done and will continue to do in years to come. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
To all the men and women out there who serve every day, we're still at high school right now, but for all of you, we appreciate your service. Thank you for giving us our freedoms every day to learn, to do whatever we want to do. Thank you very much.
We would like to thank Rich for this great opportunity, and it was a great, great honor to be here and celebrate our country tonight. God bless America.
Hey, Rich Smith, congratulations on a great night here, great celebration. Thanks for all you do for everyone around you, especially the Folds of Honor. Great cause, you know it, I know it. You're changing lives, so way to go, and let's put some more zeros on those checks. Let's do it.
Richie Rich, we love you, buddy. You are raising money for a great cause. The Folds of Honor is the best cause I've ever been a part of. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. You are the man.
We welcome all of you to Bobcat and the Practice Lagoon. We are gathered here tonight around the lake as people of all lands have gathered for thousands and thousands of years before us to share the light and to share a story. An amazing story as old as time itself, but still being written. And though each of us has our own individual stories to tell, a true adventure emerges when we bring them all together as one. We hope you enjoy our story tonight. Reflections of Patriotism.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that